Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks take on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. With that, we'll get out to Matt Nagy's home opener as coach of the Bears as we get to Soldier Field with Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. We take a closer look at Russell Wilson, the Pro Bowl quarterback in his 7th season out of Wisconsin.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a second down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Leonard Floyd's athleticism can be scary good, and one advantage he has now in the NFL is that he's finally at one position and one position only. When he's at the University of Georgia, he played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker, he played defensive end, almost depended on down and distance. Now strictly an outside linebacker with one key responsibility: go get the quarterback.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Wilson on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On first down, Wilson. And Miller with it over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Janikowski good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Calling the shots for this crew will be Mitchell Trubisky in his second season now at the helm of the Bears.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And a look at Seattle's defense.
And safety Cam Chancellor's had injuries hold him back a little bit the past couple of seasons, but his ability to stand in the middle of the field and intimidate receivers from going in that area, as well as delivering bone-rattling tackles, makes him a valuable asset to any defense.
Trubisky draw play, gives to Howard, and they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On 1st down, they run with Howard, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now it's Trubisky, and this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that's going to push him back half the distance. This is Carson. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They find some open field here. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he'll go down. The Bears get there sacked.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Onto the field now come the Bears. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And his first carry, he loses the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And this is caught. First catch by Brandon Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Miller on the catch over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Wilson running left on the option. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Come on.
Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
You know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Trubisky out to the left there and complete to Howard. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If indeed the Chicago Bears were looking for a nice change up to Jordan Howard at running back, they found it in Tariq Cohen. I'm telling you, this guy is shifty, quick, even though he's small in stature. Some people have called him the latest human joystick.
How about that? That'll be fun for Madden players. Just 5'6", but as you said, he can move.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Running with Howard. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They go read option with Wilson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Now it's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Wilson will throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a third down. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Wilson. loose. It's out, fumble. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Set up! 180!
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Well,
and abbreviated. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense. Now it's the backup Bridgewater. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd down, Bridgewater. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep, trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Room here to run. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play. The
Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
To throw is Bridgewater. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a gain of 7, and they're going to face a third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A give to Howard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run it with Carson, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. He finds his man, Baldwin. A gain of 32 that time.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Here's Bridgewater. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
He's going to look deep down the field. And this will be caught at the 30. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now it's Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know that.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
To throw is Wilson. Incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball. Made
it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. Sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On first down, Trubisky firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He leaves this one for Howard. They'll give him a yard on the play. And it'll be third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Carson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Wilson.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now Wilson on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is taken at the 23. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Touchdown, Chicago! DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard gain.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of the Century Club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D. So
it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself. And that's what he's done here in this game.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. He's back to throw. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A Chicago 1st down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cohen. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And he's got it. 11 more on that one and another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And his pass incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Shamar Stephen in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Trubisky to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. One last shot for Trubisky. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right. Just one more element to complete the victory. Now Parkey for the extra point. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. One last shot for Wilson. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Chicago, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals.